Good evening. A very warm welcome to a class on fractions and decimals. Today this would be our last class on this chapter. Okay. In our last class we have learned about how to find the least common multiple of any set of given numbers, like we have taken examples of finding LCM of two numbers, and similarly we have found LCM of three numbers, and later we have learned how to use this concept of LCM in addition of fractions. Okay, so today let's look at how to use LCM concept of LCM in subtraction of fractions, and then let's see some competitive level objective questions. Okay, so our today's objective is to learn subtraction of fractions. Okay, so similar to addition of fractions, here also there are three simple steps what you need to follow. Make sure that the bottom numbers are the same. That is, your first step is try to make the denominators same. In case the denominators are same, simply the result would be the difference of the numerators. But what if the denominators are not same? We have learned two different methods of making the denominators same by converting each fraction into their respective equivalent fractions. Okay, we have learned two methods. What are those two methods? Nihal, are you able to get it? What are the two methods we have learned? One is same denominator method, and the other one is LCM method. In the same denominator method, what do? We'll multiply the denominator of the second fraction with the numerator and denominator of the first fraction. Similarly, we'll multiply the denominator of the first fraction with the numerator and the denominator of the second fraction. That is, suppose you are given 2 by 3 and say 4 by 5. To make these two fractions with the same denominator, what we'll do? The denominator of the second fraction is 5. So we'll multiply by the same the numerator and denominator of the first fraction. Similarly, here the denominator is 3. So we'll multiply the numerator and denominator with the same 3. Okay. So this is what we call as same denominator method. And then the second method what we have learned, LCM method, that is finding the least common multiple. Least common multiple. So first we will write the multiples of the numbers. Once we are done with listing down all the multiples of the numbers of which we are trying to find the LCM, then we will group all the common multiples. Okay, students. So once we are done with grouping the common multiples, then we'll pick our least number among that group of common multiples. So L stands for least. So to find the least common multiple, the first step is write down their multiples, the second step is write down their common multiples, and the third step is simply identify the least one, that is the first number in that group of common multiples. Okay, now let's get back to our subtraction of fractions. So first step is make sure that the bottom numbers are the same. So there are two methods whatever we have learned. Either you would use the same denominator method or the least common multiple method. Okay, students, and then once the denominators are same, simply the result would be you need to subtract the numerators. Simply subtract the numerators, that is their top numbers. Okay, and then if possible simplify the fraction if possible, or else you will be getting the answer at the end of second step itself. Let's look at some examples. Okay. So suppose, say we need to find 3 by 4 minus 1 by 4. 3 by 4 minus 1 by 4. Students, so what is our first step? We need to make the denominator same. So what do you observe over here? You can clearly observe that the 4 is the denominator in the first fraction and 4 is the denominator in the second fraction as well. So already the denominators are same. So here the first step, whatever we have learned, is missing. So directly we can go straight to step 2. So this is not necessary because already the denominators are same. And what is the second step? Simply we'll write the common denominator and take the difference of the numerators. 3 minus 1, that is equal to 2. 2 upon 4. And then next go to step 3. Can you simplify this fraction further? Yes, because you can observe that this 2 1s are 2 2s are. You can divide this. So this is the simplest of all. You can't divide, you can't simplify this further. So hence 1 by 2 would be our answer. Okay students, this is the most simplest of all examples. Now let's look at our next example. 1 by 2 minus 1 by 6. So students, can you tell me what is the first step? Our first step is make the denominators same. How do you do that? Use the common denominator or the LCM method. So that is, say, what is the LCM of 2 and 6? How do we find LCM of 2 and 6? There are one method is what we have learned is find the multiples of 2. So if you list down, you will be getting 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, so on. These are the list of numbers. Then list down the multiples of the other number, that is 6. What are the multiples of 6? 6 1s are 6, 6 2s are 12, 6 3s are 18, and so on. And then, so we are done with listing down the multiples. Next step is find the common multiples between these two lists. Okay, between the above two multiples, find out the common multiples. Can you identify any common numbers between this group of numbers and this group of numbers? See, clearly you can observe that 6 is 1, and then 12, and so on. If you will observe, you will be getting all these as common multiples. Next, least common multiple. Least common multiple. This is nothing but the least among these. What is the lowest number among this group? That is 6. So hence our least common multiple is 6. Okay students. So now you are done with finding the LCM. Then how to make the denominator same? Okay. Here 2, LCM is 6. So by how much you need to multiply? By what factor? If you will multiply 2 with that factor, you will be getting 6. Obviously it is 2 3s are 6. So you need to multiply this fraction, the denominator, with 3 to get this 6. So what you will do is multiply the numerator and denominator with the 3, so that the denominator turns into the LCM. And since you are multiplying by the same factor in the numerator and the denominator, so that would be an equivalent fraction. We are not changing the fraction or its value. We are just converting into another equivalent fraction whose denominator would be the LCM of the both the fractions, so that we would be achieving our purpose of making the denominator same. Okay, look at the second fraction. Here 6 and LCM also is 6. So you need not multiply by anything. So the same step we can write as 1 into 3, that is 3. 3 by 2 into 3, 6, minus 1 by 6. Students, now we are done with step 1. So the denominators are same. So this would be equal to simply the difference of the numerators. What is 3 minus 1? 3 minus 1 is 2 upon 6. So hence we are done with step 2 as well. What next? What is our step 3? So step 2 is we have got 2 by 6. What about the step 3? can this fraction be simplified further? Can you simplify this fraction further? 2 ones are 2 threes are. So this could be simplified, right? 2 by 6 we can write as 2 ones are 2 threes are. So hence this is the most simplified fraction. So this would be our answer. Okay students, let's look at another example. So let's look at the previous question pictorially. Say we are given 1 by 2, half of the pizza, and we are asked to subtract 1/6 of the pizza. Okay, so half, divide the whole pizza into 2 parts. We are having 1 pizza. Now suppose, say this is the whole pizza. Okay, out of that only half is left. But suppose out of the whole pizza you want to consume 1/6 of it. 1/6 of it. That is, say this is the whole pizza. You want to consume 1/6 of the pizza. So that is, divide the whole into 6 parts. So this would be your 1/6 part. Any of these 6 parts would be equivalent to the 1/6 part. So out of these half remaining, you want to consume or you want to eat 1/6 of the pizza. Then how many parts would be left? Students, from the diagram you can clearly observe that, see, this is this whole half, I mean this is the half. This if we'll divide into 3 parts, this would be equal to 1 by 6. Okay, still how many parts would be left? This entire thing would be left. Okay, that would be equal to 2 1 by 6 parts. Even pictorially you can tell the answer as 1 by 3. Okay, anyway, let's look at this. To make the bottom numbers the same, multiply by the top and the bottom of the first fraction by 3. Right? So this is what we have done. And then, so in this way, by multiplying by 3, we have converted this 1 by 2 into an equivalent fraction. We haven't changed its value. And then now our question looks like we need to subtract 1/6 from 3/6. These are 3/6 part. So consider, divide the whole pizza into 6 parts. So out of 6, you are left with 3 parts. Okay, out of these 3 parts, you want to consume 1 out of this. So how many parts would be left? It is obviously 2/6 part. Okay students, so 2/6 of the pizza would be left. If you will simplify this, you will be getting 1/3. So 2/6 would be left. So you will be left with 2 by 6 parts. So 2 parts, or if you will simplify this, 1/3. Okay. Now let's look at another example. Okay, say suppose you want to sell cupcakes at a market. Cupcakes, you might have seen that there would be a paper wrapper and cake in, okay, immersed in that. We'll call them as cupcakes. Say you want to sell cupcakes at a market. Then say you get paid 2 by 5 of the total sales. You will be how much you will get paid? 2/5 of the total sales. But you have to pay 1/4 of the total sales for the stall. So how much do you get? Okay, see, there are some total sales. Out of that, you will be earning 2/5. That is, suppose the total sales are 100. Say this is your total sales. Okay, your earning is 2/5 of sales. That is, if the sales is 100, you will be getting 2 by 5 into 100. That is 40 rupees, say. If your total sales are 100, you will be earning 40 rupees. Okay students, if your total sales is 10, how much you will earn? You will be earning 2/5 of that. That is 5 ones are 5 twos are. So this will be 4. So rupees 4. This is the earning. This is your earning. But you have to pay 1/4 of the total sales. 1/4 of the total sales for the stall. Okay, you get paid 2/5. You need to pay 1/4. 1/4 means again similarly 1/4, 1/4 times the total sale. Now, so what we need to do? How much do you get exactly from this? Whatever the earnings are, again you are paying 1/4. That is, you are earning 2/5, and you need to pay back again 1/4. So how much do you earn exactly? Means you need to subtract this 1/4 from 2/5. Okay, this is your earning. Then you need to pay back something for the stall. How much you need to pay back? That is 1/4. So pay back to the stall. That is 1/4. 1/4 of sales. Okay, students. So if the sales are 100, so 1/4 of this, 1/4 of 100, how much this would be equal to? 25. So here I am taking some example numerically. So here, if the total sales are 100, you need to pay back 25. That is 15 you will earn by selling. Okay, 15 you will earn, and again you need to pay back 25. So you will be left with only 15 rupees. You will be left with only 15 rupees. Similarly, here if the total sales are 10, okay, your earnings are 4. How much you need to pay back? That is 1/4 of 10. You will be paying back rupees 2 rupees 50 paise. Okay. So similarly here, out of the total sales you are earning 2/5. Out of that you need to pay 1/4. So what would be the amount you will be earning? How much do you get exactly? So to find that, you need to find the difference of this. So how to find the difference of this? Our first step is to make the denominator same. Use the common denominator method or the LCM method. So find the LCM, students. LCM of 5 and 4. LCM of 5 and 4. If you will do this, you will be getting 20. Repeat the procedure as we have done in many examples. So here find the LCM, you will be getting 20. So 5 times, one second. So once you have found the LCM as 20, okay, convert these fractions into the respective equivalent fractions with the denominator equivalent to the LCM. So make the denominator 20. 5 times 5 fours are 20. So multiply this fraction in the numerator and denominator with the 4. Okay, so multiply this fraction in the numerator and denominator with 4. So now the denominator would turn into 20 and numerator would become 8. Minus, and then 4 5s are 20. So multiply here in the numerator and denominator with the value 5. Okay, students. So here you can observe that denominator is turning into 20 and then numerator would become 5. So now we are done with making the denominator same. So what is the next step? Simply that we'll keep the common denominator and take the difference of the numerators. So this is equal to 3 upon 20. Can you simplify this fraction further? No. So hence 3 by 20 is a simplified fraction. So how much do you get? It is 3 by 20 of what amount? 3 by 20 of the total sales. That is important again. Here in this example, if the total sales are 100 rupees, your earning would be 40 and out of that you need to pay back 25. So how much do you get? How much do you get? That is 40 minus 25. So you will be getting 15 rupees in fact. Similarly, what about this example? Here the total sales are 10. Out of that your earning would be 4. Out of 4 again you need to pay back. How much? 2 rupees 50 paise. So how much you get in fact? It is 4 minus 2.5. So that is you will be earning 1 rupee 50 paise. This is for this example. If the total sales are 10, if the total sales are 100, you will be earning 15 rupees. Similarly, if we don't know what are the total sales, we will be earning 3/20th of the total sales. Okay, students. Now let's look at some multiple choice questions related to the concepts of decimals, whatever we have learned in our previous lectures. Again, this is a very simple and important example, students. Here, see, look at the question. Nandan, can you read out this question? See, here we need to evaluate 2.39 whole square minus 1.61 whole square divided upon 2.39 minus 1.61. Okay, students, here the main thing to be identified is in the numerator also there is a number 2.39 and in the denominator as well. And again in the numerator you can find 1.61, in the denominator also you can find the same number 1.61. But the only difference is in the numerator this number is raised to the power 2, whereas this is directly given. That is, if you could assume that one of the number as 2.39 and other number as 1.61, students, you can rewrite this question as a square minus b square divided upon a minus b. See, are you able to identify this pattern? If you assume 2.39 to be a and 1.61 to be b, the same question we can rewrite it as a square minus b square divided upon a minus b. Okay, students, and we know our famous identity. A square minus b square is equal to a minus b times a plus b. Okay, even the other day we are discussing on developing our calculations lecture as well about these identities, right? So these are very basic and very important identities. What does an identity mean? For any value of a and b, if some relation satisfies, we will call such a relation as an identity. So here a and b could be any value. This identity would hold good for any values of a and b. So now let's get back to this question. So the same question we have rephrased in a different manner, that is a square minus b square divided upon a minus b. Now use this identity, students. Use this identity. If you use this identity, this would turn into a minus b times a plus b divided upon a minus b. Okay. Now, here you can observe that a and b are different. A is not equal to b, students. So denominator is not 0. Denominator is not 0. So whenever the denominator is not 0, and if you will find the same factors in the numerator and denominator, you could cancel them. Students, this is a very basic and important thing. A minus b, you could find them as same factors, but you can't divide them. You should divide them only if you could reason out that they are not 0. If one of them becomes 0, then division is not possible. In mathematics, the division by 0 is not yet defined. It is undefined quantity. If you will do wrong division, you will end up with wrong results. You might have seen some tricky questions like prove that 1 plus 1 is equal to 3, 2 plus 2 is equal to 5. All these are the results of inaccurate division by zeros. Everything looks fine, but somewhere you will be dividing 0 with 0. That is the reason you will end up with typical results. So make sure that before dividing any quantities, they should be non-zero. Okay, so now let us use the identity of a square minus b square. A square minus b square is equal to a minus b times a plus b. Now we could cancel out the factors in the numerator and the denominator. Why? Because a is not equal to b, it is something different from b. Now students, we are left with a very simplified expression, that is a plus b. And what is a plus b? 2.39 plus 1.61, you will be getting 4. Okay, in this way any complex expressions, they can make out any question. Only thing is they need a simple result for the sum of the two numbers. So for example, I'll take something like 9.999999 something I'll be giving, and the other number I'll choose as 0.0001. Okay, if you can see that the sum of these two is 10, but I'll be making a complicated question in this form, a square minus b square upon a minus b. So immediately by looking at the pattern, this algebraic identity a square minus b square is equal to a minus b times a plus b should strike out. So once this strikes, then you are done with most of the answer. Okay, so here in this question we have got the answer as 4. So you can look at this, option B is correct. Okay students, so let's look at another question. What decimal of an r is a second? What decimal of an r is a second? What decimal of an r is a second? What does it mean? How to convert an r into second? First of all, we know that 1 hour is equal to how many minutes? It is equal to 60 minutes, right? And then convert minutes into seconds. We know 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. So here we can write 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes, right? And 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. So 1 hour we can write as 3600 seconds. Right students? Again, these are the basic units and conversions which you might have learned in your elementary classes. So what have we got? We have got 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. Once again, relook at the question. We need to find what decimal of an hour is a second. Means we need to express seconds in terms of an hour. What is 1 second in terms of an hour? We can write this as 1 divided by 3600 hours. If 1 hour is 3600 seconds, what is 1 second? That is 1 by 3600 hour. Okay, so the same thing, try to express it in decimals. If you will divide this by 1, you will be getting something 7200, so something 0.0027. Just do the division using your long division method, you will be ending up with this option C. Okay students, here the main idea is to this conversion. You need to know how many minutes is equal to 1 hour. 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. Similarly, how to convert minutes into second? 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. And then how to convert an hour into seconds? 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes and each minute is equal to 60 seconds. So 1 hour we can write as 3600 seconds. All these three conversion formulas are very important. Okay, and then we have expressed 1 second as 1 by 3600th of hour. That is 1 by 3600. Okay, so once you are done with this conversion, and the rest is very simple, that is very elementary. Here you will be using your long division method to find the answer and you will end up with option C.